Good day, Navs gang. Hello to all my zombie slaying friends out there. Just wanted to create a video here. I know we just had a new build drop, and probably a lot of folks are scrambling to figure out what the new adds and changes, fixes to the game are. I plan on doing this before. This is actually my first time trying to do something in creative mode. And I want to give a shout out to Grand Spartan for giving the idea of a Horde base that can pretty much survive anything. I'll link his video in the description. And his build showed how you could use cobblestone concrete to create a Horde-proof base. Essentially, it'll get you through just about any day in the Horde. What I was curious about is whether or not this same base build, you could do it early in the game. So what I've done here is done an all wood build in creative mode. Again, like I said, my first time in creative mode, so you're gonna have to forgive me and my slowness with the controls. I try to speed up the video so that you're not watching me fumble through and edit out the more boring and tedious parts of it. Essentially what it did is created a center column, 3x3 wood blocks, 5 blocks high, and then surrounded it with ramps. Now, the difference in Grand Spartan's build, he did the corners as well. And again, this is all about economy, trying to figure out if you can actually do this with just wood, tools, weapons that you would have early game. So you'll see the wood blocks that I'm building, but frames and upgrading them to one level of wood. I also upgraded the ramps to the second level of wood, so there's no iron, no reinforced iron or anything like that in the upgrades. Again, just trying to make it as simple as possible so that if you're in your early stages and you're struggling, you don't got to worry about having it upgraded to concrete or cobblestone. Finding stone, keeping enough stone to make cobblestone is a challenge. Even though now all the dirt is essentially clay, which is a big help, but still the stone grind is extremely taxing, especially if you're playing by yourself and you're trying to come up with something to survive that first Horde night. And you don't want to use a POI, or you're afraid if you use a POI, you're just going to get owned. Like you've probably seen a lot of videos of folks early on using POIs and just getting destroyed. So we'll finish up the build here, and we'll put some spikes around it. And we'll just come back here, and I'll explain some stuff when we get to the Horde. I lied. I jumped back in here. Wanted to talk about the spikes. So again, they just all wood. Spawned in some spikes from the creative menu. Did 3 high all the way around the center column, and then line the edges of the ramps. One of the things I've seen in the other videos is the zombies and their pathing. They try to take the shortest path. So I figured this was the best way to try and snag some and do a little more damage as they're doing their little round robin up and down the ramps. You probably don't have to use this many spikes. You'll see that when I start generating some zombies and start Horde Night. But yeah, you probably don't need to use as many spikes if you don't have to. So I would say build these at the very end. It does kind of speed up the process though, damaging zombies, and then you don't have to spend as many arrows trying to take them down if they've taken some hits from the zombies. The other thing here is, again, I went and built the cage. Key point here with the cage is the pillar is 4 blocks away from the ramps. Everyone says that the zombies can jump 3, maybe 4 spaces. When you put the cage on it and put those wood bars on it, the distance to the ramp's only 3. And that pretty much, I think, guarantees that they're going to come up the ramp. I was a little concerned if I did it too far away, the zombies wouldn't be encouraged to come up and they just attack the pillar underneath me, and that would be it in a Horde Night. So here you see me spawning in some rudimentary tools. Again, went with things that you'd reasonably have by your first Horde Night. Most folks will have better than this. You might find some guns. I think guns are pretty plentiful in Alpha 17, at least they were in the last build. And by Horde Night, you're going to have some kind of weaponry, which is probably good in case a cop spawns. I think that's kind of the bane of this build's existence, is cops spitting at you and taking out your wood bars too quickly. So I'd recommend, if you got a gun, hold it in reserve until you see cops spawn in. Otherwise, the arrows will probably work just fine. And now we're getting into Horde Night here. Horde Night was not very exciting. You'll see that once I hit the clip to the Horde Night. I only had a couple of zombies initially when the Horde started. I think that's because my game stage essentially set it like 2, because I didn't really level up or anything while I was doing the build. So I took care of the Horde pretty quickly. I also have everything set on default settings, so should be only 8 spawning in. But once I realized the Horde here had spent itself so quickly, and then I started spawning in some groups of zombies. Yeah, see, there's my game stage at 2. And, so not a very good test of this. I went ahead and brought in some zombies here, just did groups of 25. Again, my learning curve with the creative menu, not the best. I initially spawned everyone on top of me. In this build, you don't really want zombies beating on top of you. Luckily, I kept the admin gun on me so I could quickly dispatch my mistake. Zombie, I think Darlene there, got rid of pretty quickly. And a random zombie showed up. It probably wasn't a Horde zombie, it was just kind of a roamer coming in. Again, spikes, you can see they do pretty good at taking out a zombie or 2, but they do run out fairly quickly. Once I messed around with these controls a little bit more, you'll see I do a little bit better, but not much better. So Zombie Darlene, some of them stayed up on top, but most of them jumped off and started doing their round robin. The hardest thing is getting used to the bow. The zombies are moving pretty fast, and in Alpha 17 you can't do the half draw like you could before, so you want a full draw, and you got to get used to that rhythm. I found that the spikes were probably the best place to target the zombies, and once they broken out a couple of spikes and they could jump, they tried to take a shortcut, took a couple of chunks out of the ramp, but I just expedited them going up and down the ramp. So did pretty quick work with those zombies. I decided to bring in some more, bring in the farmers. Again, I spawned a lot of them on the top, but some of them did run off. Had to go after those guys. One thing with this build too, you can use different spots. When you move to the different sides of the ramps, the zombies will go to the different side of the ramp, taking the shortest path, so they'll hit the other spikes. And after dispatching those zombies, brought in some more, and just trying to test it out. Now, if you're set on default, you're going to be dealing with 8 zombies at a time. I thought this was a fairly good test of the structure, bringing in 25 zombies all at once. Even if I had to off a few with the admin pistol there, I thought it was a pretty good test. You'll see it takes a little bit longer to deal with these folks, but again, 25 of them, they just keep going up and down the ramp. No one even touched any of my spikes on my pillars. So, just better have a lot of arrows. One thing, if somebody tries it out, I'd like to know, if we change the build from bars to poles, more like a traditional teepee structure, we might be able to reach out and smack some of these zombies as they're running up and down with a melee weapon. If you're out of arrows, but I'm not sure how that'll work. So I may try another creative build where instead of putting bars up, we put the pole defense. And I know the jumpers are going to jump right through that, but if you only got 1 or 2 that you got to deal with, it shouldn't be too hard, and it might save you on some arrows being able to just reach out and schwack these guys as they're running around in a circle. So just checking out the rest of the spikes, making sure cleared out all the zombies. As you can see, they stick to the one ramp, whatever's closest to you. So that kind of gives you some options. You can keep moving around. More zombies. These guys take a little bit longer to take out. Kind of get that rhythm down with shooting with the arrows as they're coming up. A lot easier when there's a bunch of them. And it's pretty funny to watch them popping up and down with arrows in their feet and their head and their bodies. Just kind of a sidebar conversation. I'm not sure that the cranium damage for the zombies is that much better. Trying to shoot zombies in the forehead with an arrow is pretty difficult, and what I've noticed is it's just as effective shooting them in center of mass a few times. They'll fall down or fall out, and you kill them. I haven't gotten to a point where I can insta-kill with one shot to the head with an arrow, so I've pretty much stopped trying to do that. Again, you see all the zombies running up and down with the arrows sticking out of their heads and legs and hands. Once the spikes are broken out, then it's all you. So if you have time, if you got more resources and you want to do a bigger field of spikes, it might be helpful, but you can see the zombies are just going to run in that one path. I'd probably recommend putting in some additional spikes along the ramp instead of widening the field. You can see here where they started digging into the ramp, so I just moved to the other side, and they essentially left it alone. Another reason why to build it 3 wide instead of just 1 wide. So you got a little extra there if the zombies start beating on the supports underneath the ramp, it doesn't all come crashing down. You could probably get away with just doing 1 ramp if you had to. That might be a way of surviving the nights. Just initially build this cage structure with 1 ramp up to it, and you could hide out here during the night until morning. If the Roman Horde came after you, you'd probably be pretty safe. But there is a risk if you've only got 1 ramp and the zombies take that ramp down, then the next stop for the zombies is your pillar, and they're going to come crashing down. They respawn pretty quick whenever you move, so there's not much lag there. They don't keep going on the other one or get distracted by the pillar. I stayed on the outside edge of the pillar the whole time to make sure that they didn't decide to start attacking underneath my feet. But yep, that's pretty much the Horde night. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more. Look forward to seeing your comments, and you can follow me at Diogen2 on the Twitter box there. Thank you all, and see you next time.